Good evening. Welcome back to episode 2 of our mini-series, Meet the ME7. I was spending a little bit of time with each of the panel over the next few weeks. I was joined by Cian last week, and now, as you can see, I've got the pleasure of being joined by Alex, president of the unofficial Robin McKenzie fan club, and the man who always says it like it is. Noticing now how shocking my camera does look compared to yours, must get that sorted out because I look like I'm fading into the distance. Alex, evening, sir.
Good evening. How are we?
And good. How are you feeling the time in between?
I feel lost.
Yeah.
I feel like my life has no meaning. I'm going to work every day and I have nothing to look forward to.
It's funny how we were all waiting, weren't we, for the end of the season because it was just becoming tiresome, and now we're all very much looking forward to going back to pre-season and all that sort of stuff and fixture release days and all of that. But in the meantime, we must try and find something to occupy ourselves. I know you're a very busy man, and I'm trying to be. And the World Cup's around the corner too, so we'll cover that at some point in the next sort of half hour or so. I'm here to find out more about you when it comes to football and everything else. So this is your platform to speak about everything, Alex. First of all, I'm going to ask the same question that I am to everybody else, because obviously we are Gills fans for the most part. So, Alex, your Gills story. Why Gillingham? What was it that started your Gills journey off?
You know what? It's odd because I speak to obviously a lot of my friends that Gills fans, and all of their parents were Gills fans, and that's how they ended up. Mine wasn't. So I was probably raised a Man United fan by my old man
As
up until the age of exactly up until the age of about 10. And then I was playing football. He lived down near the Strand, so I was playing football with a team called Horsted Youth. If anyone knows who they are.
Yeah.
And my mate Matt went, "Do you want to go and watch Gillingham at the weekend?" And I went, "Yeah, go on then. Why not?" 11 years old, 1-0 win at home to Oxford, sat in the Medway stand. And from that moment on, I was a season golder. I just fell in love.
Yeah. So 11 for you. That would give us an idea about your age and when you first started going. So what was your first kind of era of Gills? What do you first recall?
Title winning season. So
Right.
my first game was just before the title winning season, the season before. And then my first full season ticket was the year we won the league. So it's not been great since, but that first season was amazing.
So it's sort of like Cian last week. We started with the youngest sort of Gills fans in the group, and I guess you obviously have a very warped kind of view of what Gills was going to be like from a young age. And
yeah, I was definitely sold a dream.
Yeah. So, I mean, my second question, for sort of specifically around Gills, was the earliest Gills player that you can recall falling in love with. We talk a lot about sort of, heroes. I guess at age 10 or 11, it would have been, well, who would have been it for you at the time?
I've got two. One because he just holds a place in my heart. And I've got a thing with right backs. It was Matt Fish.
Right.
But the player that really, really made me fall in love with it was that light's so annoying, by the way.
You mentioned the light above you beforehand. Are we going to see a light
flickering now? Honestly, but the one that really made me fall in love with Gillingham and really fall in love with being a striker was Danny Kebba.
I can see that coming. Yeah.
He was the way he played football. I've had the pleasure of playing with him as well now as a grown man, and that I don't think anything will top that.
We were in that same team. Yeah,
we did.
I mean, I say I partnered him in midfield. It was mostly him. But yeah,
he definitely partnered in midfield. Don't worry about it.
Still quality, wasn't he, on that day? But as you say, I mean, we go back to the Matt Fish thing. Probably the most understated of that title-winning team. If you probably asked people to name the 11, Matt Fish might escape a few people. What was it about him that kind of made him stand out for you?
I don't know. I guess, I mean, I've always been quite underestimated as a player myself. So when growing up, because I was like 3 foot until I was like 11. I'm still not tall now. I probably just looked at him and thought, because no one ranted and raved about him, and there was that goal against, I think it was Accrington Stanley at home.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking he's quality. Him and Joe Martin, I think everyone talks about your Barrett, your leg, like without them two in the back as well, like we would have been nowhere near it. And we look at our fullbacks now, Max Clark and Romeo Hutton, like
Well,
they let us
one of
down
them,
so
yeah,
often.
yeah, it's true.
Well, one of them not anymore, but they let us down so often. I think that was part of it. I've always had a, a real place in my heart for a player that's not quite loved but just does the dirty work.
I'll tell you what, because I feel the exact same about Stephen Gregory from that era. Again, if you
Big
look
Steve.
at if you look at the midfield of the title-winning season, you had Lee, you had Whelpdale, you had Miles Weston, you had, to a certain extent, Charlie Allen got a lot of headlines because he was obviously Martin's son, and we had a couple of others in there throughout the season. But Stephen Gregory for me was the constant. He was someone that again was just behind the under the radar sort of thing. Got a lot of jip from supporters for not being anything incredible, but he did the job for us. And yeah, he holds a place in Gills folklore. You mentioned that I've mentioned that you're one of the youngest in the group, so you've probably got a lot more recent memories. In terms of reaction to goals, I want to talk about, can you remember a time where you have, what is the craziest celebration of a goal that you can recall? And have you ever sustained any personal injuries from celebrating a goal?
I've got a story of one where I wasn't in the crowd and one when I was in the crowd. I'll start with the one where I am in the crowd.
Yeah.
It was Stockport away, Robin McKenzie last minute winner. I did break my finger, so that was fun. And I just remember falling down flights of stairs. As we know, Rob McKenzie is, I love him. I'd marry him tomorrow if he asked me nicely. And I just had a lot going on in life, and it was that first game back, and you played Prayer scores a winner last minute. Yeah, I just flew downstairs, and it was crazy. The second one, I was a ball boy for Morecambe at home when Dion Burton scored that absolute worldie, and I just
out the air, didn't he?
brought it down out the air.
Yeah.
Put it in, and I was a ball boy in the Rainament that day, and he celebrated right in front of me. And I remember vividly before the game, they went, "You cannot celebrate goals," and I'm sat there giving it like, "Oh my god, we last minute winner," and that's something that will always be sort of high up in my memory.
I have to go back and look at the footage now because you sort of see them. They pull these goals out of the archives, don't they?
They do. It comes out every now and again. I always screenshot myself and send it to my mates.
See how different you look back then, and see what your interpretation of giving it was at that point. But
it was definitely not the same as what I do now.
No, definitely not. No broken limbs for these ones. No, but yeah, I mean, obviously remembering that McKenzie goal at Stockport being the fact that it was 1-0 in the 80-odd minute, and then we won the next 3 games when it 1-0 in the league, and then we thought this is going to be it, and we're still there, still plugging away.
Yeah, and someone tells me we might be for a while, but that's fine. That's fine.
As long as we can enjoy ourselves a little bit more, I guess. But yeah, we'll see on that one. And last question on Gills for now is, obviously I know you've played football at a semi-decent level. You mentioned it before. You've obviously got a background sort of in Kent football. Tell us more about that, but also which Gills player, past or present, would you compare your style with? Now, I know you've got a left peg on you.
I do. I do have a left peg on me. I mean, the background in football, I was, dare I say on here, I was at Maidstone for 2 years, and then at Faversham for a little while, and just floated around some Kent clubs, played up north for a couple of clubs, and I was one of those really good, but not good enough. Like you get there to get those in the middle where they're good enough to sort of be in the academies, but they would never make it. Comparing myself to a player, I'd probably say it's one that's more recent. It'll be Conor Mahoney. To be fair, getting on the ball, technically gifted, creating things. I never really liked being a solo striker. I'd always like to be off the striker, getting on the ball and having that moment of magic. You won't see him all game, but then he'll come up with a moment of magic. I'd probably say
that was going to be my comparison. Is you don't see him for for an hour or so, and then he pops up with a worldy cross or something like that. So that actually is it down to a T.
100%.
Well, at least you can still. Do you still play now at all? Do you still sort of dip your toe in, or
occasionally a couple of charity games here and there? I played at Priestfields for the supporters team recently, but it's just sort of here and there, five-a-side every
Yeah.
now and again with work lads, but not to the level anymore.
No. Well, you never know. It could be a resurgence at some point.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
mean, if Gareth needs a left back that can play on the wing, call me up. You know what I mean?
We just got rid of one of those, or two of those, maybe. I don't really know if you call Sereno what you called him, to be fair. But yeah, if we're
I'll be Brophy's understudy. It's fine. You know what I mean?
perfect,
It's fine.
perfect. On to some non-Gills questions then. Obviously, we are 24 hours away or so before we start this farcical World Cup over in the States. Who's your tip for this one? Who do you fancy?
I put my money on Germany.
Okay.
I just got a feeling about it. I'm hoping Spain. I just got them in my work sweepstakes, so I'm gonna hope Spain. And of course, I'm hoping England. But that's more of a dream. My top
Yeah.
tip would be Germany. I think they are just top quality, and the way they train, the way they work around a World Cup, I think it'd be hard to beat them.
I mean, I don't know. I think England are currently in the midst of being called off tonight, so I'm not sure. The weather, there's storms galore in Florida, so I'm not sure if it's going to be on. I'll have to keep up on that one. But obviously, as far as you're concerned, when you started watching football, England have been progressively getting better, but we're still not quite where we want to be in terms of actually winning the thing. But yeah, let's hope that the England's optimism is nothing. Is more than just simply hope. It's actually, it's actually going to come to fruition at some point.
Hopefully.
But yeah, we'll
I mean, I'm a Gills fan, so
yeah,
I'm used to being disappointed.
my dark horse for this year is Japan.
Oh, okay.
Not to win it, but I reckon to go far. Like sort of South Korea did, and
there's always someone, isn't there?
Yeah, Japan are going to be good. Not quite to the level of your France and Germany and so on and so forth. But yeah. You mentioned Man United already in terms of sort of family situation. Anybody else that you look out for in terms of football when it comes to results? Or
not really. I'm a firm believer of you're a one club man. I am always first and foremost Gills.
Yeah,
I'll look out for United scores. I'll go to the occasional game with my old man or some friends, but my only true love is Gillingham. I've got tattoos of them on my body, as some people have seen and know. And they will forever be my club. As much as my old man hates me saying that, I couldn't say I'm a United fan. I'd follow their results. They were in a final and they won. I'd be happy, but not the same level.
And family haven't been tempted at all to follow up on a few Gills games, or no? That's your thing then.
My dad's been to one with me. We played Stoke at home in the cup, and that's it. That's the only family member that's ever come to football with me.
I remember that game with Stoke, because you see them on TV, and I think they had Shawcross and they had Huth, and at the Rainer Men they were gigantic. I was like, are they really that big? I don't know whether Delap was still taking throw-ins at that point. I don't know. It might have been after that, but
I can't remember. It's the first and only time I've ever sat in a scaffold. So that's probably my only real memory of it, and the fact that my dad was there with me.
We did run them close though on that day. And last question away from football, what are your other kind of activities? What gets you going through the week in terms of non-football related or anything that is football related?
Darts. Probably darts. I quite like darts. I'm an all right darts player. I know that there's a couple of other lads in the group that are probably a lot better than me. I'm also I guess you could say, a professional pro clubs player. If
I was going to ask about
thing.
that because that sort of confuses me a little bit. So how do you become like kind of that into it? Is it just a hobby that turned into something more?
We've lost it.
The phone did fall. We had 15 minutes.
Oh no! I caught that quite well, actually.
You did well. Yeah.
Let me just.
It's a very professional show. This.
Honestly. Yes, we're back.
We're back.
Yeah. Oh my god! It was going again. I got nervous. Yeah. So, in terms of how do you get into it, it is just be good at it, I guess. I just started playing with my mates, and then got into playing in some leagues, and now I'm playing in an event next week. I don't think you can really say it's professional. yet because none of us really get paid. But if you play well in the events, you do get paid from it.
I was going to say, so essentially something that younger kids can go, well, I can actually make a career out of this, isn't it? Because I've seen these competitions where they win big bucks, don't they? They win.
Yeah,
I don't know how
it's definitely getting
works.
to that level. So at the moment, there is only really sort of the 1v1 where you get that sort of big money, but it's getting to the level. There's quite a few clubs involved in it. So Charlton have got a team. Tranmere have got a team. There's a couple of sort of EFL clubs that are investing some money into it. So it could be a case of if you're into football, you're not quite good enough at football, but you're quite good at video games. Start playing pro clubs. I think you'll get a career out of it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I played FIFA or anything like that readily enough to actually be any good at it. I've now reached the age where if I picked it up again, I'd go, oh, what are the buttons? How do I navigate around the screen? It's all
I can do that. There are definitely some kids these days that are 100 times better than me. The reactions are going, I'm getting a little bit old now.
Yeah, it's worrying, isn't it? That you lose the ability to play football on a Sunday, and then you lose the ability to play as well on FIFA as well. So yeah, it's
exactly.
All right. Hypothetical situation time. So it's obviously I'm going to try and come up with a few of these to sort of trigger your thought process. So we mentioned already about kind of the World Cup in England and various levels of success. In this situation, Gills are an established Premier League team. They're not going for the Premier League title as such, but they're going for European competition. Would you sacrifice a season of not getting into Europe to allow England to win a major competition? So I'm talking like Conference League or Europa League as sort of a mid-level Gills Premier League team. Would you go, you know what, if it means that England win the World Cup in my lifetime, I'll let it go? World Cup, yes. Euros, no?
Euros, no. World Cup, okay. I'm a very proud Englishman, and to see my country win a World Cup, I think that would be a very massive. If you'd have said Gillingham win the Champions League, then absolutely. Like I'm never trading that. But just qualifying for Europe, the World Cup, 100%.
That's the thing. Like you could be a Conference League team. You could be going out to Armenia or wherever and having a weekend out there. But England winning the World Cup and being, ending the hoodoo after 60 plus years at that point, worth it surely.
100%.
Awesome. Okay, Alex, we're going to play Room 101. So obviously you would have watched Kian's one where we have to banish 3 things about modern football, normally about modern football that you are not happy with, you want change, you have a gear to grind over. So give me your first issue with modern football, and I will choose whether or not to side with you and send it down into the abyss or contest you on it. And I'm going to be sure I'm not able to contest you a lot of the time. So let's see how we get on with this.
Right. Obviously earlier I did joke and say little. I won't go with that. I'm going to go with, and this is very topical for Gills fans like myself that travel the country. The cost of an away day. Let me travel for free.
Okay.
Like just the train for that day can just be free. No, I don't want to be paying £70 to go to Liverpool. That's my top.
Whose job is that to manage that? Are you saying about what, the club, or are you saying about
club can pay it. Club
provider?
Can pay it. If we lose, the club can give me my train fare back. You know what I mean? Right. And they'll be paying us a lot. I think that just away day travel fees, even if you get on the coach, it's still quite expensive.
Okay. The issue I'll have with that is that you can't say that, and it's a fair point in some aspects, but you can't say that, if we lose, then you don't get, then you get your funds reimbursed back to you. I do agree that it's extortionate anyway to pay her, but obviously if you're going to go up and down the country to pay however much you do on a train is ridiculous, and the coach could be a lot. I think maybe to add in some incentives for those that do go away often, that do go away as much as you guys do in terms of up and down the country week in, week out. Do you think maybe that's a plea for the club to sort of be able to do something to recognise that?
Maybe. I feel like it comes down to, it is my choice to spend that kind of money to travel. I think last season all in, I probably spent about £5,500.
Yeah,
Like all in with travel, food, drinks. You
of
know.
course. And
Um,
drink was only a small part of that.
oh, I mean, it's quite a big part of it. Let's be honest. But hotels at Cheltenham away, for example, um, can't get home after it, so you're staying
Yeah, of
away.
course. Yeah.
Um, it racks it up. So it would be nice for some sort of incentive, especially for
And
games like
does
that.
winning help? Does winning make it a little bit easier to
Absolutely,
digest?
absolutely,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
we'll start on that
Barrow
first
away
of all
this year
then.
was amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And of course it helped the winning goal scorer as well on that one.
Of course,
So let's go with, let's say the club should do more to help by winning the damn thing in the first place, and
yes,
then we'll go on from there. But yeah, as I say, this is a plea to the club and to the football gods to win more matches, so that Alex and co can get the benefits of their away travel.
exactly.
Cool. So really, that one's on the club. Really, we'll keep it.
Keep it there for the club.
We'll keep it on the back burner. Yeah. Okay. Item number 2.
VAR doesn't affect
Okay.
us, but VAR.
I agree on the premise of it in terms of the amount of time it takes to make a decision. Are you in the camp of let's just let mistakes happen in football? Let's let it,
Yeah,
be more natural. Yeah. Go on to tell me a
mistakes
little bit
happen.
more about VAR.
So we obviously we watch a league where VAR isn't included unless it's the player final, which is also
Of course.
crazy. Um, mistakes happen. Referee mistakes happen. They're human beings. Liners are human beings. They make mistakes. We don't like that, but they do. And with VAR, they still make mistakes. They're just watching it a million times and one, and still
Yes.
making the same mistakes. I think it comes part and parcel. You send about pass the ball to a striker, that's his mistake. The referee gives a penalty that maybe wasn't a penalty, that's a mistake. It happens. And that's life, that's football. And I think that's the purest form of football, and that's how it should be.
You know what? I can get on with that as a man of more years than yourself. Obviously, I recall when it was just simply, and you used to talk about it all weekend, didn't you? Now we're talking about VAR and what it hasn't done or has done, and governing bodies coming back and saying, "Oh, actually, yeah, that was wrong. We apologise for this," and actually, we seem to be talking more about it than we were anyway beforehand, because it's so varied now with the bringing in new sort of factors for it. The semi-automated offside. I know that the World Cup's going to bring in some more sort of aspects of it that we need to look out for. Do you think it's just going to become too complicated over time?
Yeah, I think it's too many cooks in the kitchen, because we could watch the same tackle and I'd go, that's a foul, and you might go, no, that's not a foul. And if
Yeah,
I'm the VAR and you're the assistant VAR, we're going to sit there arguing for 7 minutes, and then we're going to tell the referee to have a look at the monitor, and he's
yeah,
going to go, it's not a foul. He's still making the decision. It could
mm,
be the wrong one.
yeah,
So it just goes too far. I don't mind sort of semi-assisted offsides, using it for offsides occasionally, because that is something that can quite regularly get wrong, and it isn't down to opinion. That's a matter of fact. If they're offside, they're offside.
mm,
But a foul, a penalty, a handball, that's it. It's opinion at the end of the day.
yeah. And I'm going to agree with you to get rid of that on the basis that my main bugbear with it is the fact that referees don't feel empowered now to stick with their own decision. As much if they make it obviously wrong, which is the whole thing about clear and obvious error. Granted, we can see that within 5-10 seconds, but you get the referees now that spend a minute or so at the monitor and go, right, I'm going to side with what the VAR officials have said, and actually it means that they're not backing themselves up, and they made the decision in the first place. I think they should have more power to stick with their own initial.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So as a concept, let's get rid of it. Let's have the
It's it.
power to get it gone. As you say, we are never going to be in a league in my lifetime unless a miracle happens where we need to think about it.
6-year plan, Premier League. Come on.
6 year, yeah, is that what it is? Okay. Cool. Item 3 then, Alex. What are you gonna get rid of?
Amani Little.
Oh, you mentioned him. Oh,
Yeah, Amani Little. No, I won't be that mean, because I'm going to give him a chance to prove me wrong this season.
at least the first game.
Romeo Hutton's long throws is what I'm going to chuck in room 101.
Specifically, Romeo Hutton's long throws, because
just his long
his
throws.
long throws last time out, but you're going to double that, are you? You're going to back that up.
Yep, I'm gonna throw his long throws. I quite like a long throw when they're done right, and you can actually throw the ball long and not just to a centre back's head. I would probably put Romeo Hutton in there as a whole.
Okay.
But I don't want to be that mean, so we'll just go for his long throws for now.
Long throws. The concept of long throws you like, but our long throws. I guess the question is, could you throw the long throws further than the long throws themselves?
That's a really you've lost me. You see my face trying to work that out.
So you're going to be throwing long throws away. You're going to get rid of them.
I put money. If anyone from the club's watching this, I'll put good money. This would be great content. I'll have a long throw contest for Romeo Hutton, and I'll throw the ball further.
Okay,
it's not that hard.
You're younger than I am. You can be the influencer on that one. But yeah, let's make that happen, and then the winner gets a contract next summer.
I don't want to risk Romeo Hutton getting another contract, though. But no, let's do it.
Put your money where your mouth is. So you like long throws as a concept in general. We've sort of gone full 360 on that in terms of actually long throws now being fashionable again, which is fine. But our long throws, you're right in saying they really often work.
We just don't throw it far enough.
No, and also we don't have any players actually on the 6-yard on the 18-yard box, which is
we don't have players where we throw it to.
No,
we throw the ball to them. And you have like Conor Marston at the back post, and you're like, well, he's not throwing that far. That's what we do. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's get him gone. Or at least get a player on that 6-yard box that's going to win every single header so that they can actually cause some sort of threat.
No, get him gone.
Yeah, get him gone. Fair enough. Cool. You know what? That's been an interesting debate. I'm hoping that these Room 101 debates with the rest of the guys are going to cause some interesting conversations, because I think we've all got different experiences with football and therefore things that we would like to see gotten rid of. I've got a few that I may share on one of the other shows, but for now it's all about you guys and what you would do. So we're going to get rid of long throws, we're going to get rid of VAR, and we're going to get rid of away day fares.
Away day expenses.
One thing at a time. Expenses is different because that's all on, that's your own kitty, but actual travel is travel. Yeah, we'll narrow it down. Cool. That's us done for episode 2. Thank you to Alex for spending time the light seems to have stopped now, so you're no longer in danger. Awesome.
The light's still hanging out above my right shoulder, and I really hope that anyone watching this that has OCD or something similar to me is going to be really annoyed at the fact that I've just pointed that out. Now your whole outro is going to be staring at that light hanging out.
They won't have listened to you at all because they would have been watching that the entire time, and they wouldn't have listened to a word you said. Yeah, so here we go. Be back next week to pick the brains of somebody else on the panel. In the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. World Cup's just around the corner, as we mentioned. It's going to be starting tomorrow. It's going to be quite a painstakingly long opening ceremony, but just under a week to wait until the big one starts. That's right, it's Austria v Jordan, 5 a.m. start British time. So get ready for that one. In the meantime, more of these episodes will be coming up shortly during the period of the next few weeks. Come on, England, don't let us down again. Come on, Gills, don't let us down again. And up the ME7.